How's it going, folks? Rob here. Welcome back to the channel. Going to check out a bit of Gran Turismo 5 all the way from 2010. I played this game day one when it did finally release on the PS3 all those years ago. It was severely delayed. We were all getting really worried. There was a really tested the memory in 2010. It's now 2024 and I'm quite old. There was a lot of, like I said, a lot of delays. There was a lot of missing features. As the updates come out over the months after the game released, the game did get better and better and better, but there was a few things I didn't like. But yeah, this is the last Gran Turismo I played. I checked out after that. Ended up buying an Xbox and checking out Forza Motorsport and all that. But yeah, it's going to be good to come back to it. Playing this on my PC. This is an emulator. I have my PS3. Sadly, it died when I turned it on. It hadn't been turned on in years. So sadly, it's I don't have the heart to chuck it out yet. I've got my original copy of Gran Turismo 5 sitting over there on the shelf. But yeah, this is an emulator on the PC that I downloaded, and as well, I've also installed a rather cool mod, which makes it, as you can see, she's still upgrading and still every now and then you load up a new car, you got to install the shaders and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, this mod is it is quite amazing. So yeah, it is the GT5 Master mod by Nikkei. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, I found this on the modding hub, and oh my god, this is just, it's cheating. Let's not F about. But yeah, you can just completely, as you can see, add every single car in the garage with a click of the button. You got all the DLCs and patches. Now there's a lot more patches you can actually download. There's quite a few more, but with the way this emulator works, if you go past 2.11, apparently they're quite glitchy and it affects the flow of the game. So sadly, you got to stop there. Probably a little bit of content we're missing out on, but I'm not going to complain. But yeah, basically the click of the button right there, and a few other things highlighted. Every single car, standard and premium cars, are in your garage. You can unlock all the racetracks, all the sequences, all the everything. You can put as much money on as you want. You can upgrade your B spec, A spec level to the highest levels as you can. I upgraded B spec because who wants to sit and watch the AI drive for you? I hated that back in the day when it came out. Drove me absolutely crazy. Yeah, but yeah, it's pretty cool that they can do this. Yeah, I would have been quite happy to pay for this, but they are offering it for free, so I was really happy to download it. There is one for Gran Turismo 6, but it's still in a beta mode apparently, so it doesn't quite work. But yeah, coming back to this after 14 years, I remembered this layout of the home screen so well. Instantly unlocked memories from all those years ago, and it just, coming from playing Forza Motorsport the last decade, coming back to Gran Turismo, even 7, but number 5 especially, just hearing the music, the menu music, and even little things I missed. Even in Gran Turismo 7, I've missed these sort of things. When you come into GT Auto, the oil changes, you actually see them change the oil. When you paint the car, it actually see things like they actually roll into the thing and paint the car. Certain cars, if you can remember, you can do racing modifications. You see the car go into the garage and come out, and just the little things like that add a bit of character, and I kind of miss it. But the one thing I was really excited to check out this mod, not the fact that I've got all the money and all the cars I could ever desire, it is the amount of tracks. They've added in a bunch of PS2 era racetracks. I counted up, there's nearly 150 layouts. So you got all the GT5 PS3 eras, and then you got GT4, even some PS1 tracks from Gran Turismo 1 and 2. There is a ton load of race tracks, different layouts from PS2. So there's Medfield from PS2. Absolutely amazing. I hated that track back in the day. It's really long, really complicated. But yeah, Twin Ring, I love that track. Haven't seen that in a racing game for quite a long time. You've got all the old layouts. Granted, some of the old PS2 ones, they're not the greatest looking things, but it's just really good to go back and see these old tracks again. Yeah, nearly 150 circuit layouts. It is absolutely amazing. One thing I like about this, where is it? I was looking at it before. I can't find it. Yeah, but yeah, we've even got Monaco as well. Yeah, there's a bunch of these tracks. I do remember vaguely, I remember the name, like I remember London. I used to do a lot of online racing back in GT5 days, but yeah, there's some that aren't there, like the special stage Route 11, I think it was, from GT2. I used to love that track. Like New York, I remember New York, but I'm kind of getting confused in my head because Forza Motorsport 3 and 2 at New York, and maybe I'm getting those confused. But yeah, it's really, really cool. I was never a fan of rally, but there's a few that I'll check out. One thing I used to do back in the day, can't really do that with console gaming anymore. You used to get home from school, pick up your PlayStation, take your games and controllers, ride your bike around to your friend's house, a bunch of your mates turn up, and you just take turns doing 2-player split screen racing cars. It was bloody good fun. I wish consoles had that feature now. So what we're going to do, I'm going to do a few races. I'm going to go check out a bunch of old PS3 games through the emulator because my PS3 is dead. So I definitely want to be invest a bit of time in playing in this. So we'll check out my garage. Normally this would take lots and lots of grinding. We know what Gran Turismo like, but my premium cars, I got 281. There's a couple of doubles. Standard cars, 852, and that was a click of a button, literally. So yeah, it is pretty cool. I completely forgot that it was about the standard cars. So I loaded it up. I went for a drive in one, and I think, oh, the tracks and the sceneries look pretty good as you're driving around, but the car quality is awful. And then when I got back to the garage, I realized and remembered, oh yes, there was a bit of controversy with the standard and premiums back in the day, and I was one of them. Thought, it's good to see all these cars in game, but the texture quality compared to the premium, it's a bit slack and lazy. I reckon personally, they probably should have just got rid of them and brought them in slowly, redesigned them. Yeah, there's a massive quality difference. But yeah, we're going to, let's go racing. So I'm sitting in an old WRX from 1997, I think the model was. And what I'm going to do, I want to go do some A-Spec racing. Oh, the other thing you can do at a click of a button, let me show you. If anyone that doesn't like doing the license tests, normally on every GT I've played, I usually get about 80-85% of them gold. Where this one, literally at the click of a button, you get gold. You can choose what level you want: bronze, silver, gold. So yeah, I golded everything in about 30 seconds. I did it all years ago. I'm not doing it again. So yeah, golded everything, got all the free cars. They're in the garage. I'm slowly going to go through and drive them all. Well, I say that I've got over 1,200 cars in my garage. It's going to take a little while. So yeah, let's jump in. I haven't actually done any proper races yet. The only thing I've really done is just done a few test runs to make sure the sounding and all the video for the capture cards working. So yeah, we're going to do Auto and Ring Mini, just one of the, well, I can actually confirm this is the very first track I ever drove on years ago in a WRX. Now, the reason I remember that was because my friend at the time in high school, this is like back in 97, whenever the PS1 came out, was the first person ever knew how to PlayStation, and it was, wow, I couldn't believe it. So after school, went over to his house and he showed me Gran Turismo, and my whole world changed. The first time I went for a drive was on this track with a blue WRX, and all I did was doing donuts in the grass. It was the best thing ever. This game just changed everything for car fans. And we've been a lot of car racing nuts. This is the one. This is the granddaddy. Need for Speed and others made a lot of cool games back in the day, but this is the one that let us drive everything that we could never afford. I still to this day, all those years ago, fucking nearly 20 odd years ago, whatever it is, nearly 30 years, I still remember the first time I played this game. That's the impact it had. Absolutely love it. And coming back to these old classic racetracks again, it's just so good to see them all again. And it just makes you kind of really wish that Polyphony would bring back more of them. Now, I've only just recently started playing Gran Turismo 7. I've clocked in about 200 hours, so I'm still fairly new at it. And I was really, really excited to get to see some of the old tracks they brought in, but some of them, or at least one of them, they absolutely destroyed. So yeah, hopefully one day they just bring them back. I mean, they don't need a license for it. It's not like a real-world circuit. They can just bring back whatever they want. We have a little bit of a lead up with the cars in front, but it's the entry race. The AI doesn't really put up much of a challenge. The sound effects have not aged well. When you go play GT7 and you hear some of the cars in that game, and then you hear them in this game all those years ago. They could really use a bit of polish and touch up, but who cares? We're on the autumn ring again after all these years. So many good memories. Sounds nothing like a WRX. One thing I hate about the standard cars was this pathetic excuse for an interior on all the cars. The overall shape is what you'd expect, but come on, Polyphony, that was pretty piss poor lazy back in the day. And yeah, no, that's not good enough. Decent, pretty lead. We've got a good two corner lead up on this one. We're going to run a bit wide. All-wheel drive's getting a bit of understeer. Granted, I am driving it. Still a little bit rusty. Smoke particle effects are... back in the day, when this released, I used to do a lot of drifting online, and the smoke looked absolutely awesome when you nailed a good drift. It's pretty cool to see this track here again. Absolutely. So many good memories running home from high school, ignoring your schoolwork, just so you can fire up the PlayStation. Play for half an hour before Dad got home from work. That's the other cool thing you get with this mod too. Every day you log in, you get bonuses, and the percentage of money you win per race goes up. So at the moment, I'm getting 170% over what you'd normally would get. So Grand Valley was also one of the old school tracks. Grand Valley Speedway in GT7. I hate what Polyphony's done to that track. This was my go-to track back in the day, and it drives me... I was so excited when I got Gran Turismo 7 on my PS5 and I saw it was in the game. I'm like, oh, they brought back my favorite track, and then I played it, and goddamn, I was so angry at what they did to it. That coastal, they absolutely ruined it. And yeah, coming back here and checking out these tracks, things like the go-karting tracks, they were horrible to race on online, but it is pretty cool to see them back. The original Trial Mountains as well. I completely forgot about certain changes they made, so when you're coming onto the pit straight, the chicane's different. Same with Deep Forest. There's little subtle changes they've made to it as well. I kind of prefer on the Trial Mountain the changes. I prefer the GT7 layout. But yeah, the Grand Valley Speedway, I did so many endurance races back in the day. Yeah, we just got this one back on GT7, which is pretty cool to see it back. But I could have sworn, I'll have to check the track listings for GT5 and maybe even GT4. I can't remember exactly when this one came out, but I thought, it says short track, but I do remember vaguely that there was a longer version. Or maybe I'm getting confused, because I'm also might be getting confused with this one, Cape Ring. That was the go-to drift track, basically, or especially back in the day when I did a lot of online racing in this one. So I think we'll go swap the car. There's one track, where is it? I don't think we ever got it after GT. It was definitely in GT2 or maybe GT3 as well, but it was Apricot Hill Raceway. Loved this track. It is so good to see it back. Midfield Raceway, all these iconic tracks, to just the heart and soul of Gran Turismo. It's so damn awesome to get them back in the game. I do remember that there was another speedway circuit from Gran Turismo 2. I can't remember what it was called. I'm going to have to look at the listing of it. It was a really short track. It was kind of a figure eight layout. From memory, I don't know, I can't remember. I haven't seen that one. But one track I definitely remember enjoying doing a lot of racing on was Rome. That was a really cool, had a lot of great races online back in the day with this one. So I'm going to quickly go change the car. Don't know what to pick. I don't really have much. It would be nice if there was a button that let you just randomly pick a car. There is a few, like this BMW. Not that one. Hang on. Let's go to ascending. I just took a bunch of cars to the dealership thing, and the GT showroom just upgraded them because I had all this bloody money, so I could. Like, this would have taken, to get every car in the game, would have taken years to save up. You would have had to grind like absolutely crazy, and then only then could maybe you can afford them. I do remember certain cars. I had hundreds back in the day, but yeah, this is it is a bit of a cheat, but who cares? I'm 41 years old. I am not going to start grinding a 14-year-old game again twice. I'm already grinding like crazy on GT7 just to get cars and parts. All right, so let's get in the GTR. She's quick, got lots of grip. See, that doesn't sound too bad here when you start it up, but when you get out the road, it doesn't sound as good, which is a little bit disappointing. Hang on, let's do I was going to say let's do a race, but there's probably, in the beginner series, there's not really much competition. It's just going to be a sprint, but I might as well do it. We'll get a bit of cash. Not that we need it. I got 6.5 million. I got all the cars. So basically all that money is going to upgrades. And if I go back to the main menu and click a button, I can add as much money as I want. So, we're not upgrading. The car should be stock standard. $4,100 for winning this one. There you go. But yeah, this is awesome to see the original Grand Valley. One of the great tracks, as you can see, using the emulator. Every now and then you load a car up onto the track for the first time. There's a lot of upgrades. Sometimes, like the first 20 seconds, it can be a little bit jittery. But generally it drives pretty well. I've heard other people online talking about sound quality issues. I haven't had a problem with that. I found a really, really good YouTube video that helped step by step, and I didn't have a problem. I tried to install Gran Turismo 7 with that's version of the master mod, and I followed every step. I couldn't get that one working. That one, like I said earlier, is still in beta mode, so it has been for a few years, so I don't know if it's been forgotten about or still being worked on. But the least I can say, the Gran Turismo 5 one works really, really well, and yeah, it's so good to come back to these and driving around these old tracks again. Just so many good memories, and this is just the way it should look, not that bastardization the GT7's done to it. This is what they should have made. Oh, imagine driving around these tracks with the graphics and the physics of GT7. That's the first thing I noticed when just doing the test drive about an hour ago to get this video set up. The physics feel so much different compared to playing on a PAT controller on GT7, even compared to like GT Sport. Yeah, this is a little bit more arcadey, but it is still quite fun. Still getting used to the physics. Under brakes, slides around a little bit. I've still got my racing line on. As in, if you've seen the first couple of videos, I don't drive racing line on GT7, but because I haven't driven these tracks in 14, 13 years, whatever it is, I'm keeping my racing line on, because otherwise I'm just going to be slamming into the walls. Or even just sitting here in a 14-year-old game, in the cabin here, in the premium GTR, it still looks pretty good. I mean, some of the texture qualities on the rock cliff face there look a bit, or at least on my screen, it looks a bit off, because I'm playing on a 50-inch 4K monitor, but I'm recording it in 1080p because that's what the emulator set at, and it looks really good on the emulator on a smaller screen. But because this is stretched a lot more, it's a little bit. But even though it is stretched and it looks a bit grainy in places, it still looks good for a 14-year-old game. Like you see in the mirrors every now and then, you get a bit, it cuts out and. But yeah, I've had no crashes. Sound's always worked. It's smooth. I'm playing it on a 4090 PC, so that power's not a problem. But yeah, I've modded a lot of games in the last decade, but this is easily, of all the games I've modded, this is the best mod I've ever had to get all these cars and all these awesome tracks again. Oh, it's so bloody good. And yeah, if the guys who made it, or girls, offered money for it, I would have happily paid for it. But the fact that it's free, you just download GT5 from a ROM site. There's a few out there. You can do some research and check. There's a few good trustworthy ones, but yeah, it is pretty cool. So I might do another one at Tsukuba. Really cool, fun track. Yeah, we'll do one more race with the GTR, and then I think we'll call it quits. But yeah, there's a bunch of races, a bunch of old cars I want to check out. I believe I saw it early in the listing. Pikes Peak, the old hill climbs in here. I had so much fun back in the day on that circuit. I'd love to Polyphony to bring that one back. Let's be honest, there's a shitload of tracks, so I'd love to bring them back. Every time I go on one of these old tracks, I'm going to say I wish they bring it back. But even just the old car, there's so many cool cars in this game that I wish that could come back. But I understand licensing and it's never going to happen. But I mean, that little Peugeot doesn't stand a chance against the the GTR. I pretty much selected the wrong car. I mean, I haven't played GT7 in a few days because I've been so busy trying to set this up and get all the installations and loading them all up in order and all the updates to get it right. But like I said before, it still looks pretty good. I was expecting this to look really, really bad. Sometimes it's not good to go back to your hero games. Like I've gone back to quite a few games in the last few years and thinking, shit, they haven't aged really well. We used to think they were really good. It's like the other day I installed an emulator for the PlayStation 1 and I played one of my favorite games on the PS1 was Cool Borders 3. I spent hundreds of hours going down the slopes in that game, and I played it the other day for the first time in over 20 years, and I kind of wish I hadn't because it looked horrible, absolutely horrible. Alright, we've got one more lap to go. I might jump out of the car and get to see the GTR better. Nissan has been making this car essentially for nearly 20 years. Don't know when the next 36 is coming out, but they're really milking this car. I mean, it's been a really, really good sports car, supercar killer. But I think it's time for a new one. I believe the mod they're working on for GT6, they've upgraded the car sounds and modernized them. So I'd love if they bring that down to some of the cars in this mod, the master mod, because a lot of these cars could really do it for a few changes. Like these early GT games, the car sounds were never great, let's be honest. So a little bit of assistance here and there would help it, but the car modeling still looks pretty good after all these years. But I've got to say, it does feel really weird playing an old PS3 game on a computer with an Xbox controller. So as you can see, I got 100%, 170% bonus. When I started this and did the initial testing, it was 150%, and yeah, every day you log in, it goes up. I don't know where it caps and peaks. Oh, there's a bit of a weird glitch. That's why she's compiling the shaders again. So yeah, so every now and then that happens. You get a bit of stuttering, but overall that is not too bad. Completed the Sunday Cup. My driver rating is 10. I haven't done any races to vouch for my 10, and I've won another car. Fantastic, just what you want, another car. The only thing that does suck, obviously, it's a super old game. We don't have any online features, can't do any online racing because the servers are well and truly closed off. I more than likely have this in the garage already. I've noticed some doubles. I don't want to use it. That is definitely a standard car. Some doubles in the garage, you try and clean them out and delete them. It won't let you delete them. But if you do check out this mod, it does run quite well. But one thing I'd recommend just in case is to save it regularly just so you don't lose your progress. But yeah, that is it. That is the awesome master mod from the Kai. I believe there's a few different people. I don't know if that's the name they use for the group, but yeah, it is awesome. There's some people there. Yeah, so hopefully, I'd love to upgrade the sound effects, but yeah, really, really cool. Hopefully they finish doing the GT6 as well and get it working properly, or at least I'll have to try again, but at the moment, I'm having too much fun playing this, and I can see myself dumping many, many hours in here just reminiscing of the good old days with this game. Hopefully, we'll keep it going. So until then, I'm Rob. Cheers for watching. Hope you enjoyed my little flashback to GT5 days. It has aged a lot better than I thought it was. So until the next one, see you later.